Introduction to Grant Analyzer. What is Grant Analyzer? Foundations frequently use broad parameters in describing the types of funding they provide, and the best way to determine whether they might be interested in funding your organization is to look at what projects and organizations they have funded in the past. Grant Analyzer is a tool that you use to discover grants similar to those made for the type of project you want to implement. With Grant Analyzer, you can search through more than 600,000 grants made by Canadian foundations, totaling over $33 billion. Using Grant Analyzer, you can discover who has received money, the amount given and date of the grant, where it was made and received, and which foundation provided the grant. In this tutorial, we will show you exactly how to make Grant Analyzer work for you and find foundations whose granting interests match your own fundraising needs. Tutorial Objectives. In this tutorial, we will show you how to find grants that have been given for the purposes that you specify, how to search by granting category, grant size, location, and many other ways in order to zero in on just the kind of grant you are seeking, how to identify foundations that may be unknown to your organization, but which may well entertain a request for funding for your project, how to take things a step further and discover funders of organizations similar to yours, how to search for grants that have been given internationally. After you have logged into Foundation Search, you'll be taken to the User Dashboard page. You can find a shortcut to Grant Analyzer here, under the Find Funders section. Just click on the link. Or you can access Grant Analyzer by going to the Find Funders tab and clicking on the Grant Analyzer link under Search Grants. On the Grant Analyzer page, there are options you can select to refine your search, and there are options you can select to display your search results. Under the search options, you can find three main types of filters. General filters related to the grant, including granting category, granting year, and grant size. Filters related to the foundation that gave the grant, including granting foundation name, CRN, province, city, and funder designation. And specific filters related to the grant, including recipient name, recipient province, and city. Under the display options, you can find three options by default: View, Results per Page, and Sort. We'll review each of these sections in more detail. You can search by granting category, granting year, and grant size. Scroll to the criteria you would like to include in your search and click to select. If you want to select two or more criteria in one filter, hold down the Control key while selecting multiple criteria. This holds true for any filter that has multiple criteria to select. These search criteria help focus your search so that you can find grants that most closely match your own project requirements. You can also search using foundation-related information, such as granting foundation name, CRN, and location, province and city. Sometimes you want to investigate whether a specific foundation you're already aware of has provided grants in the past. This is a good way to find out. To find the grants given by a specific foundation, type the name of the foundation into the field with words. To exclude grants from a specific foundation in a more general search, put the foundation name into the Without Words field. Notice that the Granting Foundation field is predictive. When you start typing in the foundation name, the database will present options for you to select from if you choose, saving you time, and perhaps presenting options you may not have considered. In Grant Analyzer, many of the type-in search fields are predictive. You may also find the grants a foundation has made by inserting the Granting Foundation CRN if you know it. Choose the province or provinces from which you want the grant to originate. Use Control-click to select more than one province. You can also exclude a province you're not interested in. You can go through the same process for granting city as well, including or excluding as you see fit. You can also search by the funder's designation, that is, whether it is a public foundation, private foundation, charitable organization, or a community foundation. To find grants given to a specific recipient, you can type the name into the recipient name field, and you can use the with words and without words fields to include or exclude names from your results. To find grants that have been given to your province, scroll to find your province and click to select. Use Control-click to select more than one province if you choose. If you want to narrow down your search even further, you can search by specific city as well. The grants that appear in your search results will be ones that have been given to the area you specify. For each of the province and city filters, you can include or exclude as you see fit. By default, all searches in Grant Analyzer will result in a list with 200 results per page, sorted by grant size. You can see this criteria at the top of the page. You can adjust these to suit your preferences depending on what you would like to see in your search results. Under the View options, you can choose from List, Map, Chart, or Summary. Just click the drop-down selector and select the option you desire. If we keep it on List View, then under the Results options, you can choose to view as few as 25 results per page to as many as 500 per page. Again, just click the drop-down selector and select the option you want. And finally, under the Sort options, you can choose to sort your results list by any number of search filters, including grant size, grant year, granting category, granting province, granting city, granting foundation, recipient province, recipient city, or recipient name. Note that the View and Sort options appear only when you select List View. We have reviewed all of the available filters that you can use in Grant Analyzer to build a search for grants. You can combine these filters in a multitude of ways to create as broad or as narrow a search as you like. Here's an example. Let's look for grants received in the province of Alberta for conservation organizations. Select Granting Category Environment. Let's look only at recent grants, so I'll select multiple years by using Control-click and selecting 2011, 2010, and 2009. Type Conservation into the recipient name field. Select recipient province as Alberta. Then click Search. The results list shows me the list of grants that match my specified criteria. I can also review the search criteria by clicking here. This list also shows me which foundations provided these grants. These may potentially be good prospects for me to contact for my own project. If my search generates too many or too few results, I can click Modify Search at the top of the results list. And I'll be taken back to Grant Analyzer, where I can modify my search criteria. I can also save my search at any time. Once I've run my search, I can click Save to My Searches at the top of the results list. A small window will appear listing my search criteria. Here, I can name my search something that makes sense to me so that I can find my search later and rerun it. You'll notice that I can do many other things with my search results. I can add to my prospect manager, export to Excel, or print my results. We'll review these options in more detail in a different video. We can take our research a step further once we've gotten our search results from Grant Analyzer. We can discover what an organization similar to your own has received in funding. In your results list, click on the recipient name that interests you or appears to be an organization similar to your own. When you click the name, you'll be taken to a list of all the grants that the recipient has received from various foundations. You can look at these grants and decide for yourself whether it would be useful to approach those foundations for your project. On the User Dashboard page, you will also notice Global Grant Analyzer. If you click on the link, you'll be taken to the Global Grant Analyzer page, which is very similar to Grant Analyzer, which we've just reviewed. With the Global Grant Analyzer, you can search through more than 150,000 grants made worldwide by Canadian and U.S. foundations, totaling almost $21 billion in funding. The search filters and display options are the same. The primary difference is that you now have granting country and recipient country. So, you can now discover what grants have been given internationally, from Afghanistan to Zimbabwe. Tutorial recap. In this tutorial we have covered the filters contained in Grant Analyzer and how to apply them in a search, how to adjust the presentation of your search results, how to modify and save your searches, how to take things a step further and search a recipient's other grants to discover other foundation funding sources, how to search for international grants using Global Grant Analyzer.